Today we're having a look at the federal Ration Stockpile. This place was completely overrun by civilians once law and order broke down after the bombs fell. It has since become an extremely well defended raider stronghold run by Red Lily. Now there is a power armor suit right here at the front, and it varies on what you can get. Raiders will often run to it, however, but it does have a chance of respawning after a very long time in game. So don't let anyone get inside if you want that suit. As for the rest of the place, it's a large bunker with one of the largest supplies of food in the game. In one spot, that is. There are plenty of crates, and the raiders have made themselves certainly at home around the area. Be sure to take their fusion core. For some reason, it doesn't disable all their turrets and lights. You'd think it would. That would have been quite cool if all the lights just went out on them. Anyway, there is about a dozen raiders that you'll have to take care of. Go from hut to hut, clear them all out so that you have a free run into the middle here. You can see it's quite overgrown. Once inside, we can have a little read of the terminal reception, and that'll give us a bit of an idea as to what was going on. So, in response to recent events, the facility will be operating under heightened security starting immediately. Identification must be worn at all times. Civilians must be checked and given temporary identification. This includes delivery staff and vehicle operators. There will be no exceptions. Strict inventory will be taken, and don't risk your job by taking anything home. Yes, this means you. Then it talks about a breach discovered in a hatch connected to the old tunnels. Simple surveillance of the exit point is no longer adequate. A minimum of 3 men will be stationed until we can find a way to better secure it or seal it up. Also, I do not want to hear any more complaining about our choice to build this federal storage facility into these tunnels or the struggles of the retrofit operation. The decision has been made within improved budget and is done. This exit point will be handled and the facility continue to serve its purpose. Now, if we look here. Deliveries. Blamco foodstuff delivered on October 23rd, 3:30 p.m. Delivery ID Tom Milkinson. Turrets and spotlights can be controlled from this terminal, so bear that in mind before heading deeper into the facility. It's currently experiencing an ongoing feud between the raiders of Beantown Brewery, with one of the largest collections of beer in the game, and of course Red Tourette here and her sister, except her sister isn't here, and there's quite the story to that. When you enter the first building here, you'll find raiders upon raiders, but there's also a fat man, so be sure to pick that up. Getting inside will require either getting through a master lock terminal, which will unlock both doors, which I must say is one of the more difficult things to do, but look at all that food. And a steamer trunk, and even a mini nuke. Now, in order to get into it, of course, it's a bit of a dungeon. That means we've got to work our way round. There is also lots of cans you can trigger. That will cause all the raiders to basically know you're there. Be sure to disarm the mines. They'll be useful for you later on. Climbing up here. May have missed one. This will bring you to the top level catwalk. We could have went down the other door. I'll show you where that goes. But first, entering this room here, you can find a stealth boy on the soldiers in here, as well as some explosives. Not a bad wee haul. Again, if you were to go the whole way back, or well, you couldn't really, you'd have to drop down regardless. That just takes you back into the room with the terminal that we seen earlier. Sometimes it can be a little confusing, so just so everyone's on the same page, there we go. This is the entrance just beside that. As you push on further into the facility, you will be greeted by many more raiders that you'll have to take care of. Then you reach a little bit of a fork. But the good news is, if you open this novice door and head on inside, you can get yourself a nice fusion core. That's 2, so makes a pretty good location. Be sure to pick up every desk fan, because desk fans are one of the best junk items in the game for springs and gears. Now, bypassing even more raiders, you might wonder, when are we going to run into the main one? Well, you are getting extremely close. Also, I love the animation when you randomly see raiders eating noodles. But they're not like Diamond City noodles, I'm sure. Bathroom scale triggering, no doubt. 3 grenades to drop down. But that's 3 grenades for you, making this next bit a little easier. You can take the high road or go down below. Recommend the high road because then you can just go close quarters with these 2 raiders taking them out. As you continue along here through this little dungeon, you reach the final room. In here, there is still a master lock terminal, and you might have thought I didn't find a key. Well, that's correct, because the key is in here. This is where Red Tourette can be found, as well as her terminal and a skill book. So take out all her turrets, and she will make an appearance. Moving on into her office.
There we go.
Wee bit hard to spot, but you can get a US Covert Operations Manual. Faceplate Fundamentals, making you more difficult to detect when sneaking. She's also got her little terminal here, which, after we unlock, we can have a raid. Beantown Bastard. Sis caught a pair of Tar Tom's goons sniffing around the front entrance. Lil and I interrogated them, and it sounds like the liquid diet they've got going on at the brewery ain't working so well for them. Apparently, Tar Tom's got some sort of plan to fight his way in here and steal our food. I'd like to see those drunk idiots try. Lil's gone. Tar Tom and his boys made a run on the stockpile today, and in the chaos, Lil went missing. I sent out a crew to see if we could find out where she went, but I'm fearing the worst. If Tom somehow got her hands on her, I'll rip that bastard's heart out and mail it to my wall. Son of a bitch, Tar Tom's got Lil. He's making me her write letters begging for supplies. Says he's going to cut her up if I don't. I tried to get a crew together to rescue her, but they talked me down. Said Tom would just kill her if we made a move. But we've got to do something. I'll give that big fuck his food for now, but not before our mutts get a chance to mark it. Something's not right. Got another letter from Lil, but something's off. She calls me Red. I hate that name and she knows it. I think something's happened. Tom's recruiting hard now that he's got our provisions. I'm going to send one of my boys to sign up and see if we can figure out what is going on. No sign of Lil. The man I sent to Beantown Brewery said there was no sign of Lil anywhere in the place. Tom must have moved her. I've sent a crew out to start looking. Hang in there, Lil. We're coming. And turret control. Although, likely you'll have taken the turrets out by now. Be sure to pickpocket, or, well, I suppose pickpocket can be difficult for you. I would highly recommend you just take her out and then you can pick up the password, which will gain you straight access into the best food place in the game. Let's go crack open the terminal and get ourselves all the goodies inside. We don't need to worry about the memo. It's the exact same as the reception terminal. Inside, there's a mini nuke sitting over here, a steamer trunk, and as I said, plenty of food for the taking. Now, there is another entrance here, and if you've seen the Lonely Chapel video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, head right back into the room where you found Red Tourette, and then go over here to the right. Following it straight on through, you will find the alternative exit that it was told to us in the terminal. This is the Lonely Chapel and the 3 soldiers that were placed here to try and hold back all the civilians. Didn't work out too well for them. So this is probably where you'll want to exit, but don't worry, if you exit at the Federal Ration Stockpile again, there isn't going to be any new raiders, so that's kind of handy. And after that, you can make your way to somewhere else, like ArcJet Systems, or further south to the Relay Tower and Fort Hagen. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.